Good evening and welcome to episode 6 of season 9 of Factory Town Pipe Mania, where we set up a load of money, 18.6 thousand coins. So we're going to spend some buying some plots of land around us to have a look what we can get. So let's just buy everyone around us. The lands only cost 500 a go. There's never an increase in them. There was many moons ago on a previous version of the game. There was an increase every time you brought a piece of land, but now they're just flat 500 a go. So let's have a look, see what we got. We got some sand over here, which is really good. It's going to be quite useful. We can get cactus and other pieces on sand, which is nice. I think there's 2 plants, cactus and dragon fruit, I believe, have to be. Nope, there's dragon fruit there. What's the one that requires sand? I can't remember. There's cactus. It requires sand, and then there's another one. Plant. Nope, it might just be cactus fruit. I thought dragon fruit required sand as well. I guess I'm wrong. No, there's not. No, they don't. Okay. Dragon fruit does not require. So it's just cactus, just cactus fruit, which is fine. And I believe this water underneath here should be sand as well if we bring it up. I'm not sure on that. It might become grass. I don't know. But I said last episode and the episode before about wanting to terraform everything, to flatten everything down. And that's because I'm in the mindset of wanting to use the town centre specializations to help boost things. So, like for instance, this here is getting a 50% bonus to produce 2 cloth instead of 1. So, you know, every time it produces a cloth, every sort of third time it will produce. Every other time it will produce 2 cloth, which is very helpful. Very helpful. It's sort of a thing that you don't want to skip, but this preset does not really flow into that sort of way of doing things due to the map. As you can see, there's very little flat land, and yeah, I could terraform it all down, and that would be fine, but we'd just be then doing a flat one. I might as well just not bothered with the terrain and on flat terrain instead. So I think instead we will try not to. We'll go with, and I'll follow the whole. Instead of doing a town centre with anything specific around it, because you also need to put houses in there as well to get the bonuses. So right now this town centre has got 137 happiness linked to it, 108 levels of townhouses, and it's fine. If I take some of these houses away, let's just put a couple of houses up here out of the way. It's still fine for the minute. Let's take some more away. Still has a 50% chance. Okay, has that changed as well? I may be running on previous information. Previously, you had to have a certain amount of houses connected, linked to the town centre, in order for its bonus to apply. See, now it's dropped down to 40%. Yes, there we go. Okay. Nowhere is it showing me that though. It's interesting. Yeah, nowhere is it showing me that it's no longer. Previously, it used to have an option. It used to have a thing in the bottom right corner that told you, "Hey, you haven't got enough houses linked to this, so we cannot give the full boost out." So, for instance, now the boost is now 40%. See here, 2 times output chance is 40%, because the linked houses aren't enough to get to the current level. But it's not actually showing me what linked level it's at. It's only telling me how many houses are there in the maximum. So that's something to keep in mind. But you do need to have a certain amount of houses around a building in order to get the bonuses to it. So we would have to have, you know, if we went somewhere and started building like we did in the previous playthrough, we would have to have houses nearby the town centre to get the bonuses for things. Now, we don't have to use the bonuses. Right now we're sat here and I'm using 5 workers in here because we've got the happiness bonus. The happiness bonus, I think, applies just globally, I believe. It may not. It may need to be connected to a town centre. But the happiness bonus is separate to the production bonus. So let's just show this here. Let's research civics level 1. Boom, there we go. We've got a new town centre and we've got some new houses. Awesome. let's build a second town centre somewhere, because we can build a second one now. So let's just go over here to, I'll just say here for a minute. Boom, there we go. We have a level 1 town centre. It's currently level 1. See, it says at the top right corner there when I mouse over it, town centre level 1. And this is level 5, so it's giving off a 5 bonus. If I was to take a workshop and put it here, and it doesn't matter what recipe we give it, just whichever recipe for the moment, and then I pulled a path between the two, there you go, you are now linked to this. See when I mouse over it, highlights that, you are linked to it, and you'll see here, it is getting the happiness bonus. So its happiness, its number here, is getting 1, and it's got 1.4 because it's got the happiness bonus added to it. I'm not sure why the tooltip is not showing the happiness bonus. That's a little strange. It should be, but it's not. That's weird. Oh, there we go. If we click this, open this up here. Boom, there you go. So happiness is giving us 0.4 per worker. So as we add workers to it, we do gain the happiness bonus. So having a town centre connected to your workshops and things is important. But it's not necessary for the production bonus. See, this doesn't have a production bonus. We have no speciality. We can't give it one because it doesn't have anything connected to it to give the speciality. These all have certain requirements to them, so you'd have to build certain things. But we can still get the happiness bonus. And that will work even on rough terrain, with all different things around. But what more we get at is that you wouldn't have to put houses around it, which frees up some space. So we could cram some more things in, because we can cram lots of workshops and other bits and pieces in a much tighter area than I did previously, because we haven't got to worry about belts going in between. We haven't got to worry about workers getting in and out of there. Everything can be done with Omnipipes, underground or even above ground. So that's not a problem. So there'll be a lot of Omnipipes above ground as well. I can see if we cram things into an area. So instead of doing the whole, hey, this is going to get like a 50% bonus to make, shall we say, instead of doing wood cloth, it does cloth, which is what we were doing before. So instead of getting the 50% bonus, we'll build a second one and just throw more workers into it. We do have to keep an eye on our workers because they do fill up very quickly, but we'll just build a second one and put more workers into it, and then that produces twice the amount of stuff that the previous one does. So to get to 100% bonus for the town centres is difficult because you require lots of levels and lots of houses. For farming, I will do housing though, because you only need to get to level 5, so we only need to do basically what we've done here. This already would give 100% bonus to farming, so that's a good idea. Plus farming does require lots of land, so maybe the farming town will be terraformed to be flat and have as much space on it as possible. And we'll do that sort of thing. We'll put loads of farming somewhere. It's going to have to be somewhere where there's sand as well, and I need to figure out exactly how to do things to if we terraform this up here. Let's try that. Let's use some of our red coins and terraform up some of this here. So let's drag this up here. Yeah, it is sand. Awesome. So we could maybe put like a town centre up here and have some sand there for some cactus. We only need a little bit of cactus and stuff around, so or whatever, we can figure it out. Small line net, whatever. We can figure out the sand. That's fine. To get the bonus for that, because the production bonus for a farm for the mining speciality, I don't know if it tells you. No, it tells you here. See, farm output is 20%. Because it has no linked houses to it. So even if it's got no linked houses, you still get a 20% bonus. So it's kind of worth doing in places. But the forestry, mining, and farming, the top 3, give you a 20% bonus flat. The rest give you a 10% bonus. So you only need to get those 3 town centres to level 5, and they will give you the 100% bonus. So it's worth doing for farming. Not necessarily for forestry. Mining kind of is as well. Mining's quite useful, but farming especially. Food is a big thing, especially when it comes to things like sugar. Sugar and grain, because grain is also used in animal feed, and it's so much you need to do that. But we'll see how it goes. So let's get rid of that. Okay, we have the option to build a second town centre. We can build more houses as well. But I might have like a flat area for the farming, maybe mining. I'm not sure about mining yet. But we will definitely have a flat area somewhere for houses, and all the things that we're making will be sold to that like one commerce area. There'd be one giant commerce area, which will get our happiness up. At least that's the plan. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Not really desperately important for any buildings, as I've said. I mean, the bonus is very, very nice. Getting the 50% bonus to cloth is really, really nice. But again, you can just build a second building if you've got the workers. And, you know, if we slap down somewhere and just have all our houses in a single area, then and put it in commerce, because you can, if you look at the specialities here, boom, there is a commerce one here. See, needs a food market, general store, tavern. Doesn't require any houses, which is interesting. But yeah, but that allows you to sell to houses twice as quickly. So you can easily level houses up very, very quickly using that. Just have to produce more goods for them. So yeah, so we could do that. We could do that right here, right now. We could change this to be commerce, and then all the items that we're selling would be consumed twice as fast. I believe it's twice, and then we'd be making loads more money, which would be good. So I'm gonna abstain from terraforming a lot. There may be places we do terraform anyway, like maybe the tops of these mountains I might flatten down just to like the edge level. So you see they've got these. This is the edge level here. Then it goes up one, and a little bit on top. We'll get rid of that to make a flat area to build things. Because I mean, building on platforms is fine, but you can't connect to Omnipipes from underground if they're on a platform. So same for building across water. If you platform across water, you can't connect the Omnipipes to it. You have to do it above ground, which is doable. Don't get me wrong, it is completely doable, but it's a lot more complicated to do it that way. You need at least 2 spaces between buildings. It's just weird, but anyway, I've been talking for far too long. What are we going to do this episode? Well, we're going to probably work on more tech. That seems like a good idea. It was mentioned last episode as well that perhaps I should have made more wooden rails and cloth conveyors because they are used in tech later on. So perhaps I should have done that, but I didn't. So yeah. Oh well. So what we're going to do is we are going to have a look at researching something new. A couple of new things actually. We have the animal pasture I do want to get because I would like to get some fertilizer to plant down fields and things. I also want to unlock mining, which is behind metallurgy. So let's unlock that. But that gives us new buildings, the forge, it gives us the silo, reinforced planks, wood axes and pickaxes, and mining and other bits and pieces, and caravans. We do get caravans. I messed that up before. We do actually get the ability to build caravans and things. It's just we can't build belts. So I thought you didn't get them, but you do. Not everyone do that. We don't really want to do many people. We want to automate all the things, so we shouldn't have any people running around doing anything until we build an Omni Temple, perhaps, because I like that Omni Temple we built last time. Nice. I keep referencing the previous playthrough, so apologies if you haven't seen that. But lots of things that I did on that, I really enjoyed the way stuff turned out. So yeah. So we've done that. I want to research mining as well, but mining requires industrial research points. This is where we have to start diversifying our research. So how do we get industrial research points? Well, industrial research points are done in the laboratory. So let's research the laboratory. There we go. Okay. And let's look at this, shall we? So here's another example of the forester is fine harvesting trees in when it's bad terrain, up and down, whatever, because the Omnipipe can come out the floor. But if you want to build down here, it's very awkward to build on these edges here, because if I go, let's build a laboratory, because we want to build a new laboratory because they're new, boom, and I put it like here, you can see it's going to be on platforms in many places, which means you can't connect to the bottom of it. If you ever want to know if it's not going to go on a platform or not, you need to find somewhere flat and build it first. So let's build a laboratory down here. We know this is flat here. Boom, there you go. And then once it's built, if you move it, it will tell you it can't go there. It's uneven terrain. Moving a building does not generate the platforms underneath. Only when you're building them it does that. So you're like, okay, I can't put it there because it's uneven terrain. So how do I fix this? Well, you can take your flatten. I always use the flatten down tool. And basically you just choose the level you want, you click and hold, and then you just drag around and it will flatten terrain down or bring terrain up to that level. There we go. Boom, 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 boom. Now we made that there. You can also use the page up, page down keys to increase the size of it. So you can make it 3x3. All buildings are pretty much 3x3, with the exception of crates, silos, and the Omni Temple. But you can make it 3x3, and then you can pick somewhere and be like, hey, I want to make that flat. So the middle tile that you click on, boom, you'll make everything flat in one area. This is also good because it tells you in the bottom left, tells you how many coins. So I know by doing that, it's going to cost me 35 coins. Click, 35 coins done. There you go, flat area. We now have 3 places where the laboratory, or laboratory, depending on how you pronounce it. I say laboratory because of an old British comedy called Bottom. We called it the Laboratory, which was funny, so I liked it. Yeah, so we'll put that up there because I can. This wants to have 2 different things. It can make natural knowledge and it can make industrial knowledge. We want industrial knowledge to get mining first, so we'll do that. But that requires iron plates. Iron plates are made in the forge, which is another thing we previously unlocked. Forge. Let's put a forge here. See how this is platforms? You can also tell what it's going to cost to make, because if you mouse over the building, if you come down here, so the forge costs 40 planks and 40 stone and 20 planks. Boom. If I put it there, it costs, you see in the bottom left corner, 40 stone, 20 planks. To bring it forward, it says 26 because it's including the planks underneath. So that's how you know if you're using too many, if you're not flat as well. So, boom. So what does this do? This can make iron plates or nails. Basically, it takes iron ore and fuel and produces goods, which is quite nice. Now, where's iron ore? Nowhere around here. The closest iron ore, I believe, that's the wrong button, is here. So we want to make iron ore. So why don't we start platforming over part of the water here? Yeah, we can't get Omnipipes to it, but there is a trick. There's always a little trick. There's always a little trick. You can bring one bit of the water up, platform around it, put the thing on top, and it looks like it's on water, but it's not. So then you get Omnipipes in there. Or, as I said, you can bring Omnipipes above ground and do things. So yeah, you can't build underwater as well. It won't let you underwater. We could put it there. That's a completely valid place to put it. That would be absolutely fine. We could put it there. That would work for us. Let's say we want to make iron plate. Okay, and the laboratory, you want to make industrial ones. Now you need books. We are making books. We're making books over here. No, we're making paper. Oh no, we have another thing to make. Aha! How are we going to do that? Well, books. Books are made in a workshop. Let's copy a workshop. Let's put a workshop up here. I'm putting things in just random places just because I can. So a workshop requires paper and cloth to make a book, or paper and leather to make a book. Now, I kind of do want to build pastures as well. So should we go the leather route? We are producing cloth already. How do we want to do this? Kind of do want to go leather route. I mean, you can't plant everything around there because I would like to plant farm tiles around here to get this farm going better. So first and foremost, I am going to level the terrain out here. Is that right? No, one more. There you go. So now you can get all of those places with grain. So let's plant the grain in all the places, increase the size, click, 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 and then we'll go over here and click as well, but it won't let us plant in on that terrain because it doesn't like that terrain. Terrain is bad. Even if you flatten it down, I believe terrain is still bad. I will double check that right now. Boop, boop. We'll just square this off just as a test. This is using a lot of our coins, but it's fine. Yeah, boom. And no, we can't plant on that. It's bad terrain. We can't plant there. So, fair enough. Okay, now we know. Now we know you can't plant there. That's fine. Yeah, it looks a bit weird. You can fix that by just like doing this sort of thing again. There we go. Kind of fix it. Doesn't look quite as good, but looks more natural. Yeah, it cost us some coins. That's fine. That's fine. You've now got more grain to plant, but we want to get a pasture going, which means we're going to have to do a whole brand new spanking production chain. Also, let's put this house back. We're going to get lonely up there. Boom, there you go. So we want to do several things at once. So we want the forge making us iron. So let's do that first. Let's do that first. And we're going to do it starting with people because that's the easiest way to do it. So 1 and 2 people. And you take iron, dump in there. You take wood, dump in there. Now this needs a fuel source. And as you see, wood is worth 2 fuel, coal is worth 4, magma is worth 8. So coal is always better to do if you can. We don't have any coal nearby. We do have coal on a pipe underneath here being run by people, but we could mine some things. We've got mining. We're trying to unlock mining. So once we unlock mining, we'll look at things and we'll move things around and change some things and do other bits and pieces. But you need paper and you need you need books and you need iron. Yes, books and iron in order to get industrial research. I forgot what the research was called as I was saying that there. We do want natural research as well. Might tick both of them, just have it do both. And we'll do some herbs as well. And I think what we're going to do as well is... I don't know if it will let me do this. No, we can't get up there like that. How can we path up here? Can we build a spirally staircase? I'm not very good at building spirally staircases, but we'll give it a go, shall we? So I want a staircase up to here for 2 reasons. 1, it would look cool, and 2, I want to build a second school up here. So we'll do all the bits and pieces we need to make some books and things over here. So I think this will work really well for us. Also, I do want to store the iron. Bump. Go underground. Bump. No, we'll store the iron in here. And what I want to do is I'm going to filter the barn to iron. So the whole barn is filtered to iron. You can filter individually, or you can filter like the whole barn. The item filter at the top overrides any individual filter. So even if I set this one to be tomato or something, it wouldn't take them because the overall filter to the barn overrides them. But I am going to change this one to be input. So we will always have 50 iron for ourselves because iron is used to build things. So we do want iron. We do want iron to build things. So... Right, okay, and then we're going to have to do something with here. So this is where I said about leveling off things. I'm going to do a little bit of leveling off here. Like this. I'm going to put you over here. And what I should do, realistically, is replace this making paper and start making books down here instead and selling the books. But we're going to do a separate system up here for it. So I'm going to build its own independent system up here away from the town. Building things, which means we won't get the bonuses things, but it's fine, doesn't matter. Also we can harvest this grain here, which will be quite useful for us. So let's get a farm. And let's put a farm in here. And it won't let me build it on top of the grain because it requires support blocks, and support blocks cannot be put on top of crops, so it's going to moan about that. The other thing is, well, if I put this here, remember I spoke about affinity? If we try and change the other side of this to grain, it's got to get rid of all this wood affinity before it can become what it needs to become. But that's okay. There we go. So we'll put that there. And if we go underground, we've only got 3 areas for this. So I actually think we're going to move that. We're going to move all these here. We're going to go to our level tool and we're going to increase it and just click there. Boom, there you go. That's nice and flat now. We'll put it there. And then this has got access underground to all the tiles. You only really need 1 or 2 anyway, but I just like having that sort of thing. That makes sense. And we will get rid of this and we'll put in more things here. I also need to look at how farm tiles work because I believe farm tiles can only be placed on flat ground. They can't be placed on angled ground. So we may have to do something to do with flattening out a little bit in here anyway, like cutting away and doing things. So, but we'll see. We'll see. So anyway, this produces grain and we need leather. So we need to also research the pasture. Pasture, there we go. So how does this work? Well, grain goes into the grain mill, which isn't called a grain mill anymore, is it? It's called a food mill. which is a little of a bizarre term to call it. Because the food mill also has animal feed, which I suppose is technically food as well. They can do it from potatoes, carrots, or grain, so we're going to do it from grain. Cool. And then we'll go underground, and we will connect you to there. And you. There we go. You will get your grain in, and then the grain will become animal feed. Animal feed needs to go to a pasture, so let's build a pasture. The pasture does require water. This is going to be the only awkward thing about this sort of situation that we're doing. So we'll put the pasture down here, which means we are going to be crossing the Omnipipe things a little bit, but it's fine. Put a pasture down here, boom. And a pasture is going to be doing leather. Now, pastures produce goods. They produce eggs, chicken, wool, leather, beef, milk, and fertilizer. But wool, leather, beef, and milk also produce fertilizer. And the great thing about the fertilizer is that if the pasture is full of fertilizer, it will just discard it. So you don't have to worry about your leather production stopping because you're filled with fertilizer. Providing there is space for the leather to go, it will ignore that. It will be destroyed. It will just go. Get rid of it. You can just have it use animal feed to just produce fertilizer if you want to. So, but generally you'd always want to make something with it, because fertilizer isn't something you're constantly using. It's never something that's like consumed. It's it is consumed, I should say. Farms do use fertilizer to spread in the fields, but it's not consumed at the rate it's produced. So yeah, and I put it next to the water because it auto fills with water. You see here, it's auto going to fill up with water because it can automatically get yeah, +1 a second connected to 20 of 20 tiles. It's connected to 100 of 40 tiles. I need 40, so that's good. And it's yeah, it needs 40 tiles, so it's got 20 of 20 in it, so it's got water. So we'll go back into here and we will go, hey you, would you come off here and come to here? Now remember, if we do this, this is fine and legal and has no problems. They will not interact with each other. If we do that, it will, because it's crossing an Omni connector. So there we go, and you'll see, boom, this comes down here. It does some weird glitching as it's moving between the layers, but it will not end up in this side pipe here because these are not connected. You can tell when Omnipipes are connected when you're crossing them because it does that. It has a little block there. If it doesn't have that block, it is not connected. They will just cross each other and everything will be absolutely fine. Okay, so you're now going to get animal feed. And the animal feed is going to turn into leather and fertilizer. Awesome. Now the fertilizer we want to store, so I'm going to build another barn. Put the barn just back here for a moment. And we're going to grab this and go to there, and we're going to filter this to be fertilizer. No, fertilizer. That was a mistake. We sent the leather off. Oh well, we can get the leather out anyway. That's fine. So yeah, so the fertilizer is kind of there. The leather is going to go into here to make books. Ba-dum. Okay. So we're going to do a little bit of zig and zagging. Ba-dum. And I'm also going to do that, and then we're going to filter you to be leather and filter you to be leather, and then by the time we're done, you're right here. Omnipipes follow a direction as well. You haven't got to worry about stuff spilling up the wrong way. The Omnipipes, it has the arrows moving telling you which way it's going, so it will always travel that direction. There's no way the lever's going to come up this way and get broken or blocked or do whatever. Now when you've done this and you've crossed the pipes like this, you do get this here, which you cannot remove unless you remove both pipes. So just bear that in mind. I don't know what to do, but yeah. If you cross them and remove them, you have to kind of remove both pipes in that area and remove them. If you drag across, it doesn't just remove one line; it removes both. So kind of a limitation, but that's, you know, I can live with that. I can live with that because this is fine. This is the spaghetti. We are experiencing spaghetti. Spaghetti is fun. Okay. You have leather. You now need paper. Now, paper requires wood and water. Now, how do we get wood and water? Well, wood is easy. What we do is we get rid of this person here. Boom. We get rid of some of these trees here. And we put a forester in here. But there. And we go, hey, you feed that. And you feed that. And we can just increase the amount of people in here to however we need. Yada yada yada. Let's increase the people here. Let's just throw 10 people in there. There we go. Boom. You're producing wood. Wood will go into here for fuel. And wood will go into here. Don't want wood going in there. Don't know why I did that. Don't want wood going in there. No, 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 no. That's a mistake. We don't want wood going in there. What we want is wood going into a lumber mill. You see. Lumber mill. Here we go. The lumber mill is going to go... we'll put lumber mill on the end over here. For a minute. Boom. That'll do. And you're going to make paper. Okay. Then you are going to have that one there. Boom. Like that. Why are you... you also need water. Now, water you can get from putting it right next to the lake, or you can build a well. And wells produce water. Let's the well. Well produces water. It doesn't actually tell you. Okay, let's put a well down. I'll just show you. But wells produce water every second. They produce 1 work unit. So every 2 seconds they produce 1 water. You can speed up wells by putting them on the coast. So if I was to put this well, say, here. Boom. There you go. Now it will produce water from 2 different sources, but it doesn't tell me the second source. Interesting. But it is producing 2 a second. See, it's connected to water tiles here. It's not telling me what it's doing, which is interesting. It should tell me what it's doing. Storage is full. Yeah, so it produces water 1 every 2 seconds, and then I believe every second it also produces another water because the water source next to it speeds it up. Not sure why it's not showing that. There's a few things which are missing or changed, but that's because we're on experimental, so that's fine. And what we need to do is we need to run a pipe from the well to there. But there we go. Okay, and now you are producing paper, and paper can go from here into there. Trying to squeeze through all the bits and pieces going on here. That will produce books. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Then we will grab our laboratory, which we're going to bring over to here. Boom. And from here we are going to run a pipe off there to there, which is going to take books automatically. And here we have to run, oh no, we run it from here. So like that. Boom. And that's going to take the iron out of here, but will keep us 50 into there. And you're going to start producing industrial research time. Awesome. They need to be sold at the school, which is over here. But we can build a second school. We can put a second school up here. Like this. Not connected to any houses. Oh no. Well, how do we fix that? Well, like that. There we go. That'll do. We have floating things that embrace the spaghetti. There you go. Now you are linked to 16 houses because you are connected to this base here because you are within the range of sphere of influence. And then we can just go with the pipes by dom, like so. You are gonna not know what to filter because right now you're producing 2 things. You're producing both industrial and natural. Now both of them want to be sold, so let's just click that one and click that one and unclick that one. I don't know why nothing was ticked, but there you go. And say yes. And there we go. You have sold some industrial knowledge to our town. We have 10 research points. Awesome, awesome. This is ticking away, but ticking away very slowly because it doesn't have any books. This is ticking away because books are slow. Why are books slow? Books are slow because you just don't have the people. So let's just speed you up with people. There we go. Awesome. And this is the beauty of Omnipipes. You can stick buildings right next to each other. You can happily do this sort of thing. They are absolutely fine being next to each other. I'm going to speed this up as well. They're very happy being next to each other because the Omnipipes do not require a space to be in between them. They can just go underground and everything's fine. The problem with Omnipipes above ground is that they actually require more space than a conveyor belt. But we'll get to that next time. because we're going to leave this one here, and I'm going to let the game run for a bit, and we're going to get more and more industrial research points because we want to unlock mining, and mining requires 50, so we'll get there. We'll also do the next one for natural research as well. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this one, and I hope to see you again in the next one. And until then, as always, have fun.